Well, one of those is the first 5 books of Moses. We're talking about the Pentateuch. Now, buried in the depths of the Pentateuch and other ancient Hebrew texts lies a wealth of information that's long been, by and large, invisible to most scholars. But how reliable are these age-old writings? How accurate are they? Can we learn anything new from them, or is our first instinct to dismiss any likely discoveries as mere fables? Before we go digging into these hidden scripts, I'd like to put forth some interesting vignettes, if you will, which may have previously been unknown to you. Okay, let me show you how he autographs his work. And anyone who has a copy of the Pentateuch, go and follow along as I'm going to show you that inside of what you already see, he's already autographed it even deeper. So you know that it was him that wrote it and not a bunch of people just throwing something together. I'm going to show you how you exegete the message within the message. See, I hear a lot of y'all standing around talking about the obvious messages. I see a lot of y'all fooling people by trying to show them the obvious things that they can see themselves. You're just putting it together in a smooth way. But do you ever peel back the layer and show them the original intent of what was actually meant, so that that person can get the real meaning, and that way their faith is not misplaced? There's nothing more dangerous than misplaced faith. I heard a news reporter in Europe call the black militia a cult. But if you understand the definition of a cult, cults are united in an unwaverable belief that they cannot have an opinion on. I don't think that's what a militia does. But at the end of the day, those books that we read, when we look at how they're put together, if they're truly what they're supposed to be, then we should be able to see who wrote them. Let me take you on a journey. Now remember, the first 5 books of the Old Testament are called the Pentateuch. I'm teaching right now. Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's Saturday, let's go. And these were written originally in Hebrew. Now, follow me. If you take the first Hebrew letter in Genesis and skip 49 letters, what is 49? 7 times 7, right? Whose number is 7? The Creator's. So 7 times 7 is 49. Skip 49 letters and take the next letter and repeat the skip sequence. Then every 4 letters spells T-O-R-H, Tor. That's the Hebrew word pronounced Torah, meaning the law of God. Try it out. They've had computers, and the CIA tried to crack this code and figure out, was this a coincidence? You mean someone wrote within the writing? Come on, y'all ain't staying with me. You want me to repeat it for you again? Because I know somebody got their book right now. They're going to go out and try to do it. If you take the first Hebrew letter in Genesis, skip 49 letters, and take the next letter and repeat the sequence, then every 4 letters spells T-O-R-H, the Hebrew word that's pronounced Torah, meaning the law of God. And this holds all the way through the first 2 books of the Bible. You can do it all the way through Genesis. You can do it all the way through Exodus. Did you know that? It's going to keep saying it over and over, no matter what, no matter whatever else they said. In the beginning, there was light, and God said, all of that, count the letters. You can keep coming up with Torah, 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 Torah. He's telling you, this is my law. He's autographing his work. He's letting you know, this is me, y'all. I'm in here. I told you this holds all the way through the first 2 books of the Bible, Genesis and Exodus. Now, when you get to the middle of the book of the 5, that's Leviticus, it stops. However, when you apply the same skip sequence to Deuteronomy and the book of Numbers, it spells H-R-O-T, which is Tor, backwards. Now go back to the middle of the book of the 5 into Leviticus and use the skip sequence again, but this time skip every 7 letters, and it spells Y-A-W-H, pronounced Yahweh, which is the Hebrew name of God. So what we have here is every 49 letters in Genesis and Exodus spelling the law of God and pointing toward Leviticus, and every 49 letters of Deuteronomy and Numbers spelling the law of God backwards and pointing back to Leviticus. And every 7 letters in this book spells Yahweh, God himself. See how he autographed his work? And y'all all caught up in the scriptures that's inside of these books and trying to decipher the history and the lessons of the people without realizing that the very entity that created the whole thing that's giving it to you, he signed his name. He's pointing at him, the law of God. And the other side is the law of God back in the middle. It's me. For all of my Torah readers, those who don't even read the New Testament, I just validated your scripture for you. Genesis, Exodus, Torah, Leviticus, Yahweh. Numbers, Deuteronomy, Rat, which is Torah backwards, pointing to himself. Now, because Hebrew lettering is mathematical as well as literal, I'm teaching to somebody who got their brain on tonight. These scholars have able to put the whole of the Pentateuch into a computer program, and then they chose differing skip sequences and they ran them through the program, and the results that they found astounded them. Encoded inside of the text, they found messages concerning different aspects of life and history. In other words, there's another story inside of the story. And the story that's hidden inside of the story talks about the future story. So he didn't just give you, matter of fact, where the Rubik's Cube at? I ain't got the time to reach for it. It's more than one level to this. Isn't this something for you to understand, that you would think that a story that has been compounded over the centuries wouldn't have stories built into the stories, that the author wouldn't sign his work somehow so that no one could duplicate it? Come on, we don't think that deep.